have clips of the head of the Teamsters Union of Puerto Rico all over state television in Puerto Rico and on U.S. television saying, until we get a better deal, I have the quotes right here, for contract leverage, we're not going to deliver anything. And so only 20% of the trucks are non-union in Puerto Rico. I mean, you know, in Texas or Florida or someplace, if people needed food and water and you're getting paid already, but you want to use it as leverage, you'd get your ass kicked real fast. When people have been out of food and water and electricity for weeks and you're trying to get it to them, nobody'd put up with that. What is wrong with Democrat cities like Chicago, New York, D.C.? They're just crooks. They're just scum. And remember, you're watching CNN, MSNBC, or any of these channels, ABC News, Good Morning America. It's Trump's racist and didn't help Puerto Rico when we had Navy ships in between hurricanes. They've been hit by 2 in the last 3-4 weeks. Delivering. We've had reporters there. I'm sending reporters this week, but they've got to get the airfields cleared. Could be any day now. Could be tomorrow. We're going in. I'm tempted to go. I'm thinking about going. But the point is that, because this is so important now, like I knew that breaking the back of the racism and showing the love of Texas and everybody coming together and everybody saving everybody, I knew that'd be beautiful. And I knew that backfire, and his approval ratings are way up. Trump's are. Now let's go to this clip of Victor Rodriguez. There's a bunch of these. And again, it's in Spanish, but it's all transcribed on Infowars.com. Then we have the CNBC reporter basically saying what she's transcribed from English. Let's go ahead and just play the first clip that is in English. Let's play the first clip from CNBC. Bombshell, Dems, Teamsters ordered Puerto Rican stand down to embarrass Trump. Here it is.
Puerto Rico, supplies that people desperately need. They say that they're feeding their grandchildren crackers. They have no running water. They can't get to fuel. And now look at this. There are 3,000 cargo containers here at Crowley, one of the biggest shippers in Puerto Rico. These are all refrigerated units. They're known as reefers. And each one of them operates on a generator. Crowley is now using 4,000 gallons of fuel every single day to keep the operations here at its terminal up and running. But here's the problem. The truck drivers can't get to the terminal to get their containers out. Each one of these has medicine and food, construction supplies, building equipment, and all of that needs to get to Puerto Rico. At this point, though, when you're looking at truck drivers who can't be reached by their businesses by cell phone, they don't have the gas to get to work, and then even when they do get to work, their semi-trucks don't have fuel. The problem is the supply chain. Here's what the executive for Crowley told me about the problem.
The people of Puerto Rico are fighting hard, but there's no way we're going to be able to do this by ourselves. We need much more support from the federal agencies right now. We also ask the distributors and the trucking company that in a way that it is possible to please come and start moving the cargo here, because we need to make room in order to receive the cargo that is on its way.
I just wanted to give you an example of the grocery stores. 226 supermarkets around the island are ready to open, but they don't have diesel for their generators. At Crowley Terminal alone, there's the Supermercado Econo. It's one of the biggest supermarket chains on the island. It has 104 containers sitting here. V. Suarez, a big food distributor, has 114 containers. Walmart has 70 containers. They're all stuck. And when you're talking about lifting that Jones Act, the executives are saying, how is that going to help? It's not that we don't have the supplies. We have the fuel on the island that we need. We have the supplies. We don't have the distribution channels to get them from the terminal offsite. And oh, by the way, they're running out of room. Look around. There's no more room left to put containers here. It's all full. So the problem is, how do you get the supply chain back up and running? Diesel fuel seems to be one of the big missing links here, guys.
Yeah, Contessa, I mean, if you're able to get fuel there via shipment somehow, is the real bottleneck that, or is it the drivers? And if you get the drivers, are the roads passable to where they could get these goods where they need to go?
Hey, Carl, that's a great question. So first of all, here's what Crowley executives on the ground responsible for these logistics are telling me. They say the problem is not that there's no fuel. There's fuel. There's plenty to fuel the recovery on the island. The problem is distribution. They've got security issues. They've got federal agents guarding the fuel distribution centers. They've got a requirement that there are 2 armed law enforcement officers accompanying every truck that goes out to deliver fuel to the gas stations. And then the issue with the drivers, right? You got to get the drivers from their homes to their place of employment. That takes gas and it takes cell phone communications. And then you got to fill up the semi-truck so that they can come pick up these cargo containers.
All right, let's stop right there. Now, again, that's the one in English. You think, well, the media told the truth. And then they go on to basically admit union issues. But we have all the footage in the newspapers and the confirmation, the heads of the union saying, we'll do it when you give us money. So that's how the media walked around the fact that America piled food, gasoline, air-conditioned facilities up. One article in Wired reports 9,000 plus containers have been delivered in the last 2 weeks. 9,000 containers just to one facility. But the head of the union in Spanish, I have the transcript here, says until you give us better contract negotiation, we're going to give you nothing. In fact, let's just roll it in Spanish. A lot of our audience speaks Spanish. Just for documentary purposes, let's just back this up. The transcript's in our article on Infowars.com, but here it is.
Entonces, ¿por qué el gobernador tiene que pedir que se reporten los camioneros a trabajar? Ahora es el menos que puede reprocharle a los camioneros, porque el gobernador acaba de pasar una ley por encima de todo el mundo, tratando de liquidar a los camioneros con permiso. Pero, no. Está bien que haga una ley, pero estamos en una emergencia. Lo que usted está queriendo decir es que ustedes están luchando con el gobernador, no yendo a trabajar por una ley. No. Nosotros estamos haciendo lo que tenemos que hacer. Pero acaba de decir que por una ley. No, perdóname. Los camioneros están saliendo a trabajar. Y yo exhorto a todos los camioneros del país a que continúen trabajando con el pueblo.
Again, folks, we have the full transcript. It's 3 minutes longer. It's on Infowars.com. Go read it. Read the transcript for yourself, then go check it. It's out of local Puerto Rican television. It is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the containers coming in have never left. Crowley says the more than 3,400 just at one facility alone, 9,000 in another. The containers at the terminal now, that's just one shipping company at one port. Several other ports are, again, accepting shipments and stranded crates, total of 10,000. I'm sorry, that was an older number when I said 9,000 plus. It's way above that. But you heard no aid from America from the cracker. The cracker. The evil, racist white man. Trump. Americans didn't give. We didn't care. Even though we did, we still get blamed. And then they say because we don't like people that are Hispanic. You know, it's just funny that the Democrat-run city of New Orleans wouldn't accept the aid and got everything blocked with FEMA. And then when it was Houston, didn't happen. Even though the Democrats tried to block it, the state ignored them. The same thing with Florida. You people are horrible. It's the Democratic Party. They're a bunch of crooks that want to make this as bad as they can so they get full control. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to spread the articles and videos now more than ever that are at Infowars.com because the globalists are trying to censor us or trying to block this information. There's nothing more rebellious you can do against the globalist than to spread the links, the articles, the videos, and to also financially support us. And while you do it, you get game-changing, win-win, high-quality products at InfoWarsLife.com. We have the nutraceuticals, the supplements. We have the caveman bone broth formula with turmeric, chaga mushroom, bee pollen, and so much more. You talk about next level whey. We have great whey as well, but they go together. Mix it up with some milk in the blender. So good for you, so powerful, so strong. It's 50% off. That's about to end. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. It's the mayor of San Juan standing up on national globalist television, bitching, saying that there's no aid from Trump when there's giant pallets going up hundreds of feet in the air behind her. And when they're the ones ordering stand down. And then they use the crisis to get more power. That's their management skill. They make you poor to run your life. And you have no idea. I'm so sick of these pigs. Look at her. She's standing there after the Navy ships. I saw maps this morning put out by FEMA of each port and how many landings have been made. And some of them had like 30, 40 landings of container ships. And then the photos, pyramids of food, pyramids of air-conditioned food, pyramids of fuel, generators. I mean, it's insane. And then she sits there saying, I'm begging, save us from dying. I want to come back and play this. And then Matt Bracken's joining us. But and then you got the Islamic attacks every day. Now I went to a major gun range today. And to respect the gun range, I didn't videotape it because I'm into privacy. And I walk in there, and there's women in hijabs lined up firing machine guns. And then 2 hours later, I leave, and they're bringing in more women in hijabs. And I was like, am I in a jihadi trading camp? And they look at me, and they go, hello, Alex. I mean, something's going on in this country, folks. So I did shoot video in the parking lot. When one of them pulled around and drove up next to me. So I was leaving with my wife. Yeah, things aren't going too well in this country, I'm here to tell you. There's something big afoot going on. Democrats told us, in fact, will you guys reprint me Paul's article? It was on Drudge on Friday. Democrats announced November 5th, November 4th, they're planning mass murder nationwide. They're going to start killing cops, everybody else. It isn't that the cops are perfect. It isn't that America's perfect. But you know what? It isn't Saudi Arabia. It isn't North Africa. It isn't, New Guinea with headhunters. I like America. A lot of freedom here. And I like everybody, no matter what color they are, as long as they like freedom too. And I'm not going to turn into the big racist the globalists want by all this anti-white stuff, but I am going to get more vocal against your political correctness and point out you're trying to turn America to a big, giant prison where the government's the warden and we're all at each other's throats. And Donald Trump's trying to stop that. And, of course, former top NFL star, Mr. Brown, has come out and pointed this out. We're going to play that clip, too, and we come back first in the next segment. But I did about a 45-second plug, and that didn't pay the bills around here. You pay the bills. But when I do longer plugs, we get more money in, and I've been so focused on news, people probably notice there's not much plugging going on, a lot of breaks getting skipped, a lot of things happening, and I shouldn't be overly confident. I should be raising money while the sun's shining. So I'm asking you to commit today to go to InfoWars Store and to look at the books, the videos, the T-shirts, the Patriot apparel, the firearms accessories, the knives, the nutraceuticals, the supplements, and buy products and sign up for auto ship on things like high-quality coffee or vitamin B12 or the other organic products we've got, the Emirates Essentials, the essential oils that just came in. They're the highest quality discounted. And you get 10% off for doing the right thing and helping us, but we need the commitment. Because let me tell you something. Behind the scenes, I don't know how to deal with some of the stuff that just happened. But I'm going to have to go public this week with some things. Today we call it bone broth, and for thousands of years our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great tasting formula. Caveman. It's those people living in the wilds having to actually build civilization that are our superior ancestors. And we need to do everything we can to recapture that. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body. This is the engine of the life essence. I'm a long way from the caveman my ancestors were, but I'm sure as hell trying to get back to that essence that made us what we were, and this is a big part of it. I know you're going to want to check out Caveman Ultimate Paleo Formula for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com today.